he is going to call.
10,500 call.
And he's got a lot of cards to dodge. Any heart, 10, jack, or queen.
Rough card.
And here's the river.
Boost.
It's a deuce of diamonds. What a beautiful, beautiful card for Alan Cunningham. Yeah, it's not that beautiful for Patrick Antonius. In the first season of this program, we saw Alan Cunningham lay down aces to Phil Ivey.
22,000.
And he makes a $22,000 bet into a $34,000 pot. Alan's going to go into the tank, try and work out whether it's worth justifying this call. He's bet every single street, Patrick Antonius. Alan Cunningham really thinking this through. Pot is $56,000, $22,000 to call. That river bet by Antonius, that is not a value bet. Now he's got to think he's behind. The only hand he can beat here is maybe an ace-jack. And what's the point of betting if you're up against an ace-jack? Exactly. And look at that, what a call from Alan Cunningham. I swear, this man has a sixth sense. It's unbelievable. What instincts. He shows the aces, and he is going to take down nearly an $80,000 pot. $1 million cash game after 240 hands. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. Patrick Antonius. He's now up $86,000. And this is the story. Alan Cunningham, what a turnaround. He is up nearly $80,000. Chris Ferguson up $30,000. And let's look at the bottom of the leaderboard. Phil Ivey down over $250,000. Brian Townsend almost down to $150,000. $1 million cash game. Phil watching the action even before he gets to look at his own cards.
2,000.
They're still sitting out in front of him.
Get ready, you're gonna be coming in.
Those eyes are Phil Ivey. Unmistakably Phil Ivey.
Even if I like quadruple that.
Chris racing up with the Queen Jack. Queen Jack suited. It's such a pretty hand. And it's pretty good against that hand as well. That's Phil Ivey's 10-9, but Phil's got position.
14.
We've seen this before. Chris Ferguson raising, Phil Ivey calling. Here comes our dealer Hugo, giving us a flop.
Ace, queen,
and it's a queen for Chris Ferguson. That's as good as an ace right now. And when the flop fell down there, it was almost as though he just looked away, as if he was just disinterested right away. Well, Chris has checked.
4,000.
Of course, Phil Ivey going to put that bet in there. Try to take advantage of his position. This has happened a good few times before. These two clashing in a very similar manner. Ferguson's going to call this one.
Okay.
Oh, there's two pair. That's going to make Chris feel a little bit happier about his hand. It's also going to give some outs for Phil.
Okay.
So that Ivey can now catch a king or an 8. Now, king obviously won't get him too much action, but if an 8 falls in the river, that would be a lot of action.
10,000.
And he is going to bet $10,000. That one chip, that is a $25,000 chip. You can be curious to find out whether Chris just black calls this one, or if he puts the pressure back on Phil. Chris Ferguson really has not had a misstep all day long. Doesn't look like he's going to fold this, that's for sure. And he's going to call it. Pot is now 33,700. And let's see the river. Ivey needs a king or an 8 to win this.
7.
7 of spades is not going to do it. And let's see if Phil Ivey shuts down.
Okay.
Does Phil Ivey fire a third bullet? I think he's going to have to try. Oh, and he's got the bullets out there. He's got the guns. $35,000. into a $33,000 pot. And remember, the pocket nines. Look at this, obviously no value to raising here. But it looks like he's going to call, and he does call. Great call by Chris Ferguson. Phil Ivey with 10 high.
Queen Jack, 2 pair.
Chris Ferguson with 2 pair, and he is going to take over a $100,000 pot. That's definitely one of the biggest pots we've had in the $1 million cash game, and it puts Phil Ivey over $300,000 down. Phil Ivey really hasn't done anything right so far,
1,000 again.
unfortunately for him.
300 again.
And after 243 hands in the $1 million cash game, Patrick Antonius on top, $84,000. Chris Ferguson now up $82,000, and Alan Cunningham up $78,000. And look at the bottom, Phil Ivey, he is down over $300,000. It's the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 million cash game in association with 50 London. I'm David Tuckman alongside professional poker player Gary Jones.
Cool.
Chris Ferguson's going to play this. He's got a couple of 5s, red ones, to be exact.
Cool.
That's going to bring Phil Ivey in.